Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my user review. So today I'm gonna talk about the EFM 22mm for portrait. It's this tiny lens over here. It might look really small, but don't mistake it for the size. So let's get on to the review. Okay, so in this video, you're gonna hear me talk about the pros and cons of using the EFM 22mm for portrait photography, and also I will provide you with sample images later on so you can judge by yourself. Okay, so if you have been following me on one of the social media, be it on Facebook or Instagram, or probably you're one of my subscribers who's watching this right now, thank you so much for that. You might know that I'm a fan of the Canon M100. I got this camera, well, I'm really sorry because I cannot show you the camera right now because I'm using it at the moment with the lens kit, so I can show you the 22mm because normally the 22mm is like my go-to lens. It's in my bag every day. You don't have those pro features and everything, but it works for me because I mainly use it for, well, initially I bought it so I can make YouTube videos like this, but along the way I got into the photography side of it and I turned out to like it. I bought this lens for about, in rupiah, it's about 1.5 million. That equals to like $100, and if you take a look at the marketplace right now, or its official price is gonna range around $250 to $300. Yeah, so I bought this used, it's secondhand, for about $100. That's like 1.5 million rupiah. What do I like about this lens? First thing is because it's really lightweight. It only weighs about, I think, 105 grams. That's really lightweight. If you combine it with the M100, wow. It fits in my camera bag or in my everyday bag nearly every day. And the next thing I would like to talk about is the focusing distance. Yeah, and this lens got a 15 centimeter focus distance, so you can get really close with this lens. And I'll show you a picture of a little macro I did. Okay, it's not like macro, but you can get really close to the subject and get some details out of it. The first reason would be because it's got an f2 of aperture. That means it can get a lot of light in it, and you can do a lot of like low light photographies with this. It separates the foreground and the background really well. So if you want to look for an EFM lens that shoots awesome portraits, awesome pictures in low light, this is a must get. Okay, so the second reason why I got this lens is because it's 22mm, which means it equals to 35mm in the full frame world. That's why this lens is really suitable for street photography and also for portraits. It's environmental portraits, meaning that I can take portraits of a subject and still get the environment around the person. So yeah, that's kind of one of my things. I'm a fan of 85mm, but for the purpose of having this Canon M100, I wanted to fit in my bag every day, and this lens really suits me well because of its size and everything. But just bear in mind that if you want to shoot for like models or like a particular subject, human being for example, you might want to put the subject right in the center, because if you use the f2, you're gonna see a slight vignette on the sides. So if you're not really into that, you can always work it out in Photoshop or Lightroom. It's not a problem, but again, if you want to use the image on the go, just shoot the subject dead center, okay? Okay, so the next reason why I got this lens is because it's an STM. It has an STM motor, so the focus is really buttery smooth. You won't miss the subject because I just put it on smooth zone autofocus or just face recognition, and you just have to press the shutter button and it focuses right away. Never a problem for me. Okay, so those were the pros. Now let's get to the cons. I only have 2 cons for this lens. The first one would be, if you go to manual mode, manual focus, I find it really difficult to when you're on the go and you want to focus on a specific subject. The focus ring is just not, I don't know, when you have the camera with you and sometimes you twist the wrong ring, because instead of twisting this, you have the tendency, I have the tendency to switch this part, which won't do anything. So it's not really comfortable for me, and yeah, moreover it doesn't have that manual focus or autofocus ring. But anyway, it's quite a cheap lens, so what do you expect? And the second would be it doesn't have any image stabilizers. So when you're shooting portraits and you use a shutter speed of below 1/100, make sure you hold your breath, because if you move, geez, you will get like blurry images. That's the downside of it, and especially if you want to use this lens for video purpose, make sure you use a gimbal or you use any form of stabilization like a monopod, tripod, or gimbal. If not, it's gonna be really frustrating. Well, I have a little example up here where I shot a video using this lens handheld, and you can see in the video it's quite shaky, so you might want to tap on the link or the card up there so you can check it out by yourself. For video use, I always use gimbal, which is the Zhiyun Crane M2, which I did a review of a couple of months ago, I guess. If you want to take a look at the video, it's up here, or I will just put it down in the description below. Okay, so those were the pros and cons of this lens according to me. Now I will provide you with a couple of pictures. I shot a lot of human being, a lot of my daughter, and friends, family, and relatives. And well, that's mainly why I bought this lens for. It's for a portrait, because it has an equivalent of 35mm in full frame, so it's really awesome for environmental portraits. Here are a couple of images, and please tell me what you think about the images and the lens down on the comment section below. Okay, so those were the sample images, and please do tell me what you think about them down on the comments section below. And at the end of the day, who is this lens for? It's for you guys who own an M series, a Canon M series, whatever the series are, be it M50, M100, M200, or whatever. and you want a lens that can shoot well in low light situation, and if you like portraits and street photography, this is the lens for you. Or probably just want a little lens that you can bring every day in your bag, in your camera bag, in your work bag or whatever. This is the perfect combination because it's really teeny, it's really small, and it does a very good job to take everyday portraits. If you want to buy this lens for the purpose of video, I think you're better off with other focal lengths. Especially if you want to use it for vlogging, don't get this lens because a slight move will make your video terrible. Just get the EFM 11 to 22mm, but it starts at f4 to 5.6 if I'm not mistaken. It's not the best in low light, but if you want to use it for daily vlogs and you want to use it during the morning or during the day, and if you have proper lighting, the 11 to 22mm EFM would be the best for you because of the wide angle, and it does have an image stabilization if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, you're better off with that. Okay, so if you like the video, please hit that like button. And if you like listening or watching to user reviews, real life reviews of cameras or lenses, please hit that subscribe button for more in the future. Thank you so much. Stay healthy and keep washing your hands. See you later.